Hey everybody, welcome to Flats Class YouTube. This is Captain C.A. Richardson, and what we do here is we teach you how to fish. But today I'm not going to really teach you a whole lot. I think I'm going to share something with you. The rains kept the damper on me for 2 days now. I haven't been able to get out, and it's really complicating my charter schedule. But last week I did get out with a fan of Flats Class Television and the YouTube channel, and that is Miss Donna from South Carolina. She came down here to Crystal River with her husband, and she spent a day fishing with me, and she was really looking forward to it. So we got out there, and I learned that she'd only been fishing for 1 year in saltwater, just 1 year. But boy, were her casting skills amazing. And a lot of it is understanding the outfit, if you will, the rod setup to put yourself in a successful situation. Well, she went out there and she just whacked some redfish with me. She caught jacks. She caught just about everything. Trout. We got our slam. It was a really fun day of fishing. And then I'll tell you what, she blew me away when she went to sodium fishing, and the owner told me that she didn't want her husband rushing her out of there because she wanted to take her time and shop. How many women do that? That's like a unicorn. Anyhow, I'm going to go into the shop over there and show you the setup that she was using. I think it's a good setup for all types of anglers, but lady anglers in particular, because listen, you've seen some of the best women anglers on Flats Class Television over 15 seasons. Women like Meredith McCord, women like Lisa Fitzgerald. I mean, we've had some really, my wife is a good angler. You don't expect me to say anything less about her. But just amazing stuff. But if you want the lady angler in your life to be successful, you have to set her up with a system that's going to allow her to cast efficiently, with not a lot of rod speed, and accurately. And I think I've got that dialed in. It worked for Donna. While I'm getting in there and getting set up, I'm going to let you catch a little of the action that we had on our boat with Donna last week. This episode of Flats Class YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. Might be a little bit better fish. If it was a trout, it had already come up, and even a snook might have jumped by now. Oh yeah, nice redfish. Nice redfish. Good job. Good job. I told you, she gets excited. She loves fishing. So, how are you going to put your wife, your girlfriend, a family member who's got kind of limited experience, but has a love or a passion for it, like Donna? Well, the first thing you got to do if you're a seasoned angler is they cannot use your stuff. Your stuff typically is going to be heavier stuff. How many of you guys love to throw medium heavy and heavy action rods because you generate so much rod speed? It's like that fast twitch back, forth, and you need that. You don't want a soft rod that kind of vibrates through. Well, you got to understand, inexperienced anglers, lady anglers, kids and things like that, they don't have the ability to have that type of hand-eye coordination right off the bat. It's going to take them some time to develop. So, that being said, you got to choose tackle that is going to be a little lighter weight, shorter rods. Shorter rods are going to allow them to be more accurate. That's just a fact. So 7-foot rods are perfect. Medium action is what I like to use. Something that will throw a lure between 1/4 and let's just say a half or 5/8. That's going to be perfect. That way you can put them on a weight forward jig. Because remember, when you're throwing bucktails, paddle tails, or even jerk shads, baits like that, that have a lead head, I've got one here, that have a lead head up front, well, honestly, because the weight's forward, it's going to allow them to cast more efficiently because now the bait's not evenly weighted throughout the whole thing like a plug would be or a Texas rig would be. And they're not going to knuckleball it, hang it up in the trees, or just throw it and it kind of drifts off to the right or the left. They're not going to have that issue. If it's weight forward, they're going to be it's going to be easier for them to develop touch. Let's say that. A lot easier to develop touch. In fact, I'm going to send you right now, before I cover any more, look at some of the touch in these next 2 clips that Donna has with a 7-foot G Loomis rod that I gave her, and with about the first 30 or 40 casts to get used to it. Look how it turns out. Check this out. Back up in there again. Perfect. That's exactly how you do it. You got to admit, that's some pretty good touch. This is someone that's been only fishing basically in saltwater for 1 year. 1 year. Now, she does go fishing with professional guides to kind of get a feel for it, but 1 year. And she can gently cast, get tight to the tree lines and the prop roots. She even developed a cool little side cast across her body that I thought, that's what experienced anglers do. And she was able to pull that off as well. So I was really impressed because I get to fish with a lot of good fishermen. I mean, solid guys. Fishing guides, pros, bass guys, everything. And sometimes when a lady angler wants to go fishing with you, you're thinking, okay, well, we're going to have to change things up to make it so that she can catch fish. That's not the case. And never underestimate a lady angler. I'm telling you right now, because the fish do not know who's on the other end of the rod. if they can present a bait and they can do it as naturally as you can, they're going to catch just as many fish as you are. That's a fact. That's a fact. And she really proved it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the tackle that I had Donna using. 7-foot rod. This is a medium action. In fact, this is the E6X G Loomis inshore. Why that? I'm a Shimano guy. Well, Shimano and G Loomis are sister companies. I'm going to tell you that right off. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you, this is a good baseline rod to use. And I use it with a lot of my charter clients. It's 7 foot. It's a medium action rod with a moderate fast taper. And what that means is this rod typically will just bend in the first 25 to 30% of the rod. So when you go to make a cast and it heels over behind you, it kind of loads slow, but with a 1/4 to ½ ounce lure weight, that it does a good job. And then they're not going to have that fast twitch that you might or I might. But even when they gently cast it, it casts very easily. Remember, the keys are weight forward jigs, okay? The key is lightweight braid. My braid that I have a lot of clients like Donna throwing is only 8-pound Power Pro. This is 8-pound Power Pro. This is the V2 Slick 8. It's a great line. And it gives them just a little bit more distance where they're not having to like shift their weight to cast. I mean, nothing's more frustrating when someone's trying to cast really hard because the lure won't get out there. But with this setup here, 7 foot, in fact, I'll give you the specs right here. You can check this out. I hope, if you can't see it, we will put it in the description below. But a setup like this is just a Stratic 3000. It's lightweight, so this whole outfit doesn't really weigh that much, so it's not going to be fatiguing. Trust me, I had her make probably about 300 or 400 casts that day. It was super windy. I had to keep her back in the backcountry, and as the backcountry filled up with that west wind, I had to work closer and closer and closer to the tree line. So I needed her to get good enough where she could throw at the tree line. And you saw those 2 clips. She's pretty good. She's really good for someone with, again, 1 year of experience. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a setup like this for lady anglers to do well. And especially the new ones. You're introducing them to the game. This isn't for someone like Lisa Fitzgerald, no. Or my wife who fishes with me for the last 16, 17 years and she's become really proficient at it. This is for someone just getting into the game. This is a great spinning rod setup that they can have a ton of success with. Now, I'm gonna come up with a couple more suggestions and close this video out. But in the meantime, check out the size of this redfish Donna put in the boat next. Jump down, help you out, and then put the power pole down. Oh yeah, you got a Jim Dandy. He's a big fish.
That's so funny. I thought, let me just cast over here.
That's always the way. When that first run was back and forth, I was thinking, man, that's behaving like a lot bigger fish. Oh yeah, this is going to be full grown here. Reel down. Yeah, reel down.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Right there.
Okay.
All right, so open the bail.
I got it. Yep.
Nice.
Oh, he's a big one.
He's a big one.
So these are the size I catch a dog.
Really?
Believe it or not. and they're, you're bringing them in 8 feet. Oh, that's good. And you bring them in like that.
That's a fish. That's
That's
a good fish.
Yes, fish, yes. Oh, you gotta love it.
That is a good fish.
Look at that. That is so funny.
That one's 28.
Wow.
Squeeze trick tail.
So that's bigger than the ones I've been bringing.
All right. Get one. Got him.
I got it.
Big one.
All right. Off he goes. That's the way you do it, Donna. That is the way you do it. That one was a knot tester.
Yes, that was a big one. And boy, did you
That
see
was
him stirring
probably.
up all those other fish?
Yeah, that was probably. There was probably a school of them there. You ruined it.
That was an impressive chunk of copper that Donna tangled with Dare. That was her day maker, if you will. And what a great lady. She doesn't know that she's got the fishing virus so bad now that it's going to cost her thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars to keep this up. It's just one of those things that just you can't get enough of, and you're making memories while you're doing it. Speaking of doing that, if you guys like what you're seeing here and you're learning stuff at Flats Class YouTube, give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell. I want you guys subscribing to us and sharing it with your friends and family, because we want you guys all to be better anglers. That's my job, is to make you guys even better at what you do. So until next time, you guys get out there and bend those rods. I'm going to be working on some more YouTube. See ya.